I'm ready.
It is now.
It is now. Hi, guys. Today is the day I'm going to sow my annual seeds that I'll be planting in the garden. And what I'm sowing this year are my Lilliput zinnias, which get 16 to 18 inches tall. They love full sun, and I want them for the front of the border because they just bloom all summer long, and I like to get a head start on them. I do grow the giants, but I direct sow those because I want them to bloom. In August. They're usually 1st of August through the fall. But these little liliputs are gorgeous for the front of the border. The other thing I'm doing this year, which I've never done, is I'm starting these little patio tomatoes from seed. And what's nice about them, they'll be kept in either, they say they're nice for hanging pots, any kind of planter. They have a little bit of a cascading form, but they get, 100 tomatoes. They're a cherry tomato. And they came in a gift basket, I think, for last year. So I'm going to plant these in, we'll get those done.
It came from the garden.
And yeah, they did. They came from that garden show in Mackinac. So we're going to plant those and have them for the patio. But they need 6 hours of sun, 4 to 6. All of these need full sun. The other thing I'm planting today, sometime today, I wanted to get this done and forgot my morning glories have to soak in water, which they're doing right now to plump up because of this. They have a really hard seed coat. And there we go. It's really hard. So they tell you to soak them in water. Also, if you look online, they say you can kind of take a knife and what do they call it? Just cut the score the seed. It's too dangerous. I've never done it because that knife slides off. But I have done morning glories twice, and I just soak them in water for 6 to 24 hours. And I'm hoping by the end of this morning, I put these in at 6, and you can see a few of them plumping up. But I'll have the soil ready to go. The morning glories, they are full sun. I love the morning glory vine because of not only its flower, which is not that important to me, and I've said this before, because I've been growing these now for 3 years. I love them how they trellis up on my pergola that's in the garden, and it starts giving me this really beautiful foliage coverage that softens the edges of the pergola and the compost area, that hard fence line. And it starts looking beautiful end of July all through the fall. And that's why I grow these. They're easy to grow, and I'm going to put 2 to 3 around all the areas where they're going to be climbing. So to get started, we have these. I like these trays because of 2 reasons. They have a tray in which once my seeds are planted and they've germinated, I like to water from the bottom so I don't disturb the soil on top or the seed. And then they come with their domes because all of the plants I'm planting today need to be put on heat mats. They like to be at about a 70-degree temperature till they germinate. And you like to keep a moisture barrier. If you don't have a dome, you can use plastic wrap, which I've done that before. But none of these need light to germinate. And let's go over here and we'll take a look at the potting medium I'm using, which is just seed starting potting mix. When you start seeds, you want the seed starting potting mix. It doesn't matter what it is. I'm using the Miracle Grow. So I've already gone ahead and I've gotten this tray is going to be for my tomatoes. I'm going to try and start 6 tomatoes and give several away to see how many we get germinated. And this is going to be my morning glory tray. And I want 6 morning glories. What I've done, you put your seed starting mix, you add water until it makes a clump. You don't want water running out of it. You just want it to be moist enough that it holds a clump. And we're going to pack this. You don't pack it in. You just put it in here. We get the soil in here. And once they're filled, you want to give them a little tap like this. And then add a little more soil on top. So we'll do that, get them ready. Like I said, with the morning glories, I need to wait a few more hours till those seeds plump up. So let's take these. And I've put these in 2 separate trays because of the germination rate. The one thing about these seed trays, when you're putting more than one seed into the tray, they all have different germination rates. And so it's easier for me to take, if my tomatoes germinate quicker than my morning glories, I can take this out from the heat mat and just put it under lights, and this one can still stay in the heat mat. So let's get started here. These are my zinnias, Lily put zinnias, and I have already done these first 3 rows. The zinnias like to be a 1/4 inch deep, and I just use my little toothpick to make the holes like that. And then the zinnia seeds, what I like about them, are really big. Easy to get your hands on. So we're going to put these right into their hole. And I am being very optimistic. I'm doing 1 seed per hole and 1 seed per pack, or those little 2x2s. And if I get 24, great, because I only probably need about 12 in that area that I'm thinking about putting them. And I can give the rest away. So that's how easy that is. And then I'm just going to cover that up, the little bit of soil. And then the last thing I'm going to do is just like that. Good, they're covered up. And seeds, I keep my seeds from year to year in a nice, cool, dry spot. I like to put vermiculite over the tops of my seed trays just to hold moisture. It doesn't take a lot. So this little bit of vermiculite holds moisture. And just like that. And once these are downstairs on the heat mat with the dome, you always want to check for moisture. So this will be right here, my tomatoes. Now these tomato seeds are tiny. Oh golly, they are really tiny. And because they go to a 1/4 inch, 1/8 inch, because these are 1/8 inch sown, I'm going to just surface sow these. And surface sows mean I'm going to pack that down, and I'm going to put 2 seeds in each one of the little cells. Just like that. And if 2 of them germinate, then I can always thin that out just by cutting the extra one off. And there we go. There we go. Okay. I'm going to pack that down. And because they're surface sown, I'm going to put the vermiculite on top. It'll do 2 things. It'll keep the moisture and allow those to come through. All right. Now what I like to do too, once I've got the vermiculite on, I moisten the vermiculite to hold the vermiculite in place and to hold all the seeds in place too. These will be lovely. So our last frost date here in Zone 6, Western West Virginia, they say it could be April 30th to May 15th. And my past years of gardening in Western West Virginia, Zone 6, we always have a late frost. So I will keep my eye on the date, but we need at least 6 weeks out to get the germination and get the plants where you want them. Now, on my morning glories, they will be planted 4¼ inch deep. And I will also do the same thing with the vermiculite, but you can see I still have a ways to go before I can plant them in. They will be put on a heat pad and under no light. So what we're going to do now, I'm trying to think what else I need to tell you, is that once these germinate and they have their, once you see the seedlings pop through the soil, you take the dome off and you take them off the heat pad. And then once you see that they have their first true leaves, you can start fertilizing with half strength of a liquid fertilizer. And I use the powdered Miracle Grow and add usually half of a tablespoon to a gallon of water, and then water again from the bottom. I always like watering from the bottom. And then all we have to do is wait for them to grow and the last frost date, and they can go out. So if you want, I'll show you where they're going to be put, and we'll get started. My producer's about ready to croak today. Anyhow, here's where these are going to go. We've got a heat mat, no lights, but again, once they start to germinate, nice little warm area, the dome comes off, the lights go on. So this other tray is going to go here, and I will bring its companion down to it once I get them in the soil today, when those morning glory seeds plump up a little bit. What I like to do when they're first germinating, I like to tuck them in down here and get them going. So that's what we're doing. But while we're down here, let's take a look at a few things that are doing great, which are my caladiums are doing terrific. What, Reg? What do you see?
There you go.
There we go. That's my fault. Get that is a little bit whopper jawed. Now what? I guess I'm on. And you know, the liatris, so far I had one liatris show up earlier and it's doing great. This has been how many days? Almost 50 days. And I've had, it looks like I might have one other germination starting in this little corner, but the winter sown, and we might take a second and run outside and show you what's happening outside with the winter sown plants. But they aren't doing as well as I thought they might, but I have plenty of seeds in the refrigerator. Those are doing great. So I'm having a lot of success. You don't always have success, but let's go ahead and do, I'll set that right there. Let's take a look at the winter sown plants. You want to, Reg? Yeah. So these are the winter sown larkspurs, and they're doing great. You can see their second set of leaves. They're doing super with the sunshine. All three of these containers are showing lots of life, a lot of action. They're all showing, Reggie's so good out here with the sunshine. So these are my larkspur. They've done great. And the liatris out here in this one pot, I have 3 seedlings coming up. Whether Reg can see that or not, I don't want to. But can you see in there?
Well, maybe. Okay.
Do you see a little green?
Yeah.
Good. So we've got starts there, and I noticed just this morning there's 2 or 3, and they're barely. I don't want to take them apart and then have to put them back together. I probably should though, but let's just do it. It doesn't matter. Anyhow, they're working, and I'll keep you posted on the liatris. I think they did better in the winter sown than on the heat mats and lights. So that's the summer seedlings, and I'll keep you posted. It's spring. Get going. Thanks for watching. We'll see you the next one.